I'm Ben Meiselas from the MeidasTouch Network. Let's file this under radical MAGA extremism exposed. MAGA extremist Representative Louie Gohmert, who calls himself a Republican from Texas, presented an honorary American flag that was flown over the United States Capitol building to an insurrectionist, to Simone Gold, who was just released from federal prison in Miami on Friday. And as she left from the prison, MAGA fascist Representative Louie Gohmert was there to greet her with this honorary American flag, which was flown over the United States Capitol building. Now, Simone Gold pled guilty for her role in connection with the January 6th insurrection, for obstructing and trespassing in areas where, of course, she didn't belong as an insurrectionist. And upon greeting her with the American flag flown over the building that the insurrectionists assaulted, attacked, and tried to overturn our democracy, this is what Representative Gohmert, and it pains me to have to even call him that, said. Gold is the definition of what a political prisoner looks like, something I never thought I'd see here in the United States. This was a continued term that these MAGA Republicans use, referring to the insurrectionists who pled guilty, who were arrested for trying to overthrow our democracy, constantly referring to them as political prisoners and referring to their incarceration as being the demonstrative of them being political prisoners. Now, Simone Gold was also previously involved in spreading significant disinformation about COVID, spreading disinformation and promoting hydroxychloroquine and other things like that. And this is just a trend that we see about who MAGA Republicans are, and they are full-fledged endorsers of the insurrection. I mean, do you remember at CPAC where Marjorie Taylor Greene greeted, they had that cosplay political prisoner jail set up at one of the booths at the CPAC convention, and she sat there with an insurrectionist who pled guilty and pointed fingers at other insurrectionists who were also guilty and purportedly took accountability in front of a federal judge for his conduct. But when then Marjorie Taylor Greene, bent her knee and kissed him, and it was like this whole weird fascist cosplay thing here, and so all of this just makes me reflect on Joe Biden's speech in front of Independence Hall in Pennsylvania, where he called out MAGA Republicans and made it clear that he was just referring to MAGA Republicans. And he called out fascism. He called out the threats to democracy. He made it clear that if you don't accept the results of a free and fair election and you support political violence to overturn the legitimate results of a free and fair election, guess what? You are a fascist. And you know the expression, a hit dog will holler. And oh, did it holler with all of the MAGA Republicans defending their fascist conduct. I mean, I can't think of anything more sickening and more disturbing, although the depths of depravity of this MAGA Republican movement, frankly, knows bounds. So I probably could actually think of things that are worse. But certainly, how disgusting can you be that you are a Texas member of Congress and you rush to greet a insurrectionist who was responsible and pled guilty for her conduct in connection with January 6th insurrection at the Capitol. Greet her with a flag flown over the United States Capitol. Call her a political prisoner. It's the ultimate middle finger to our democracy. And frankly, this is why independents, Democrats, people who never viewed themselves as political, are all forming this pro-democracy coalition to stop people like Gohmert and Trump and Marjorie Taylor Greene and Boebert and Carrie Lake and all of this weird, radical extremism, fascism that stands in the face of just stability, of normalcy, of supporting our democracy. And we have to call this out every time we see it. I mean, how despicable Louie Gohmert, how despicable Simone Gold, that scene, the ultimate offensiveness. But we're going to keep calling it out here. Hey, make sure you hit the subscribe button now. Hit subscribe. Support the fastest growing independent media company, but not just the company, a movement fueled by you and democracy that we are growing together. If you want to know other ways you can support MeidasTouch, you can go to our new Patreon website at patreon.com, patreon.com/MeidasTouch. You can also visit store.MeidasTouch.com, but the best way you can also help us is just hit the subscribe button right now. I'm Ben Meiselas for the MeidasTouch Network. I'll see you later with some more breaking news.
MeidasTouch is unapologetically pro-democracy. And look, we know you are too. So please make sure you check out our best-selling shirt and our best-selling gear, the unapologetically pro-democracy gear. And hey, while you're at it, make sure you check out my favorite shirt and one of our most famous designs, It Wasn't Rigged, You're Just a Loser, at store.MeidasTouch.com. That's store.MeidasTouch.com.